Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday. So, let's talk about Mr. Christian Combs, the son of Diddy Combs. If you are just now coming from a coma or up under a rock, Christian Combs has actually been served a lawsuit with SA allegations. So, let's hop right on into that. All right, so what we have here is the court docket for Grace, and I'm not going to butcher her last name, versus Christian Combs, and there's other defendants in this complaint. It shows that she ended and I remember reporting this. She filed this in April, but was having trouble trying to get him served. So this case was filed April 4th, 2024. I'll go to the hearings, but first I want to go to the documents that has already been filed. So as I stated, the complaint was filed April 4th, 2024. And the proof of service, so that means the return of service, that's what we usually call it, but the proof of service is just a proof that the defendant has been served. It was filed on November 19th, 2024. Now, what date he was actually served, you know what? I can actually find that out. So that's the cool thing about doing this on here. And this is all public record, so y'all don't have to worry about me, you know, digging up all of this stuff. Okay? All right. So we're going to see exactly when he was served. Because mind you, in California, they have 30 days to respond to the petition. If they do not respond, then the petitioner must file an entry for a default judgment within 10 days after the expiration in which the respondent is supposed to respond. All right, so I'm going to go here. Let's see what we have. Are y'all going to let me view it today? We're going to see. Alrighty. So proof of summons, complaint file. Okay. I just gotta purchase the rest of it so I can see. I thought it would be just a one pager. So I will purchase that and then I will update you guys in regards to what date it was actually he was actually served. But I know it was just recently because I remember the news channels talking about it. So anywho's, they have 30 days to respond. And if he doesn't file an answer within 10 days after that expiration, the petitioner has to file her entry for a default judgment. Now, they do have a case management conference hearing on December 10th. If you guys know, they don't have the defendants nor the plaintiff have to attend. It's just an update to see where they are at with the case. So at this hearing, they could say, hey, all right, he's been served and we are just waiting for, him to respond within the allotted days. All right, so let's hop on into the petition to see exactly why Diddy's son has been, sued in regards to this petition, well, into the suit. It shows here's the complaint for damages. So she is currently suing for assault, battery, SA, premises liability, aiding and abetting, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligent infliction of emotional distress. So she has sued not only Christian Combs, but his daddy, Sean Combs, and any other individuals that she was not able to name, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, and corporations 1 through 10. So once their identities have been identified, then they will go ahead and amend the complaint as needed. So it shows that Grace is a European Caucasian female who worked as a stewardess in the yachting industry since 2018. I'm just trying to figure out why they added her ethnicity to this petition. All right, plaintiffs loves yachting started at an early age and was the foundation on which she built her career. Through yachting, plaintiff has traveled the world, met many new friends and colleagues, and enjoyed a very successful career. Throughout her career, plaintiff has always worked well in teams and received high praises and great feedback from her managers and colleagues. Plaintiff also consistently received exemplary reviews from her clients for her excellent customer service, as well as glowing references over the past few years. Plaintiff has consistently received promotions and has never been rejected for any position she applied for. Prior to being essayed by defendant Christian Combs, defendant planned to work the entirety of her career in hospitality and the yachting industry. Unfortunately, those plans have been derailed due to the trauma plaintiff continues to have as a result of the assault. All right, so there's Christian, aka King Combs. All right, so defendant Combs is a 25-year-old auto-tuned and heavily edited rapper. Golly. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, as the saying has it, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Golly. Defendant Sean Combs, who has also been accused of several acts of SA, grape, uh, violence, and DRUGing, among other deplorable conduct, is the father of defendant Combs, Christian Combs, that is, who has seemingly taken after his father and the family business of reckless partying, DRUGing others, violence, and other illegal conduct. Specifically, Christian Combs is the second child of billionaire Sean Combs and his late ex partner, Kim Porter. I truly feel that this man has messed them kids up. Upon information and belief, defendant Christian Combs resides in the city of Beverly Hills, California, and Los Angeles, California. And I believe they served him in Miami. I need to see. Defendant Defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and a record executive, popularly known by his stage names Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Diddy, Brotherly Love, or Love. And I'm just going to say Sean Combs. So Sean Combs became famous in the early 1900s with his record label Bad Boys Records. He rose to prominence in the music and entertainment industry over the decades and is regularly revered as a hip hop mogul and top rap hip hop producer in the industry. Upon information and belief, Sean Combs resides in the city of Beverly Hills, California, in Los Angeles. So this petition was filed prior to him being arrested. During the relevant period, defendants John and Jane Doe's 1 and 2 are currently unknown individuals and/or employees who aided in or abetted in the commission of conduct complained of herein, and/or who either acted within the scope of their employment, defendants ratified, embraced, and acted to this conduct. As parties engaged in discovery, plaintiffs retains the right to amend the complaint to add these additional employees by names. During the relevant period, defendants ABC Corp. 1 through 10 are currently unknown entities who employed plaintiff or aided and abetted in the commission of conduct complained of herein. As the parties engage in discovery, plaintiff retains the right to amend the complaint to add these entities or individuals by name. Let's go down to the facts and allegations. So in or around July of 2022, Grace was working on Victorious, which is a super yacht built by Yacht and owned and operated by Fraser. Plaintiff worked as a temporary second stewardess for the company Equum FW049IC. Plaintiff worked in her temporary position for a month on the Victorious, then was subsequently offered a permanent position due to her professionalism, passion for the job, and great skills service or customer service skills. In or about September 2022, plaintiff had been a part of a dedicated team at the Monaco Boat Show tasked with selling characters for Victorious to high net worth clients such as Christian and Sean Combs. In December of 2022, plaintiff and her team were advised that the yacht had been successfully chartered for the 2022 holiday period. Plaintiff changed her personal holiday family plans to accommodate the charter service and flew to St. Martin to prepare the yacht for service. Plaintiff soon learned the client who chartered the yacht was defendant Sean Combs and his family. Sean Combs leased the yacht and had full control of the staff and premises of the yacht. Although plaintiff was used to working in discreet and VIP environments, this was one of the first times working with a A-list celebrity. Because of this, plaintiff and the rest of the team assigned to the yacht were determined to make the holiday special for defendant Sean Combs and his family. For the duration of the trip, plaintiff was assigned the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift along with one other crew member. This shift, commonly known as the late shift, was very busy. Late shift duties included dinner and drink service for the clients for the entire 12-hour period. Dinner and drink service had to be carried out with minimum staff support or backup during the night shift since only two individuals were assigned. Although Sean Combs was always typically on the yacht, his sons, Christian Combs and Jessica Combs, were staying in a luxury villa nearby but joined their father abroad the yacht most evenings. Aboard. I said abroad, more abroad, aboard. During the second week of the charter service, there was a significant amount of partying and drug use, which caused the guests to stay up throughout the night. They was gone on that booger sugar. The makeup of the yacht quickly evolved from just defendant Sean Combs and his family to include a constant rotation of suspected SEX workers and other A-list celebrities such as French Montana and actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba actually has a few SA allegations, lawsuits against him as well. So I need to do a little digging and see what I could find because he has gone off the spotlight. Now, I did see a movie. I don't know if it's on Tubi or Amazon Prime that Cuba is currently I wouldn't say currently in, but he filmed recently. So I'm like, he's staying out the way, and possibly slowly coming back, but you can't come back from this type of allegations, especially if they're true. Defendant Sean Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. Here's my question. Wasn't his daughters on the yacht too, if I'm not mistaken? Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm using my phone to Google. Um, family yacht vacation. I'm acting like I'm live. Diddy. I could have sworn his daughters was on there because there was a video that showed everybody boarding the yacht and he had everybody put their phones in like a bag or something. And maybe I'm getting, you know, mixed up with a freaking movie, but I'm gonna look into that too. According to plaintiff, it resulted in an unexpected increase in workload for her and her colleagues, as well as unwanted exposure to unlawful drug use, lady of the night activities, and general chaos. It also created an extremely hazardous environment. For example, guests often demanded drink service until 6 a.m. Staff was often treated with disrespect. Suspected Lady of the Night workers were sprawled out unconscious about the yacht what, and it was difficult to distinguish which bottles of alcohol were laced with drugs and which bottles were not. Because remember, they talk about the bottle, him having bottles specifically for certain people, and then the other bottles. That's crazy. Um, it is important to note that as a bartender, plaintiff understands the impact of alcohol and the likelihood that a person would not generally become intoxicated following one mixed drink. Because of this, plaintiff found it very suspicious that after one shot of De Leon tequila or one mixed drink, various women on the yacht would be falling over themselves, panicking, or passing out. This led plaintiff to reasonably believe that the alcohol given to these women was likely laced with drugs. You know what? With that being said, this plaintiff can be used in the criminal indictment. hmm Plaintiff was aware that Rodney Jones, a producer who was employed to work on the Love album Off the Grid, was required to be on standby for musical recordings, often late into the night. The Love album Off the Grid is the fifth studio album by American rapper and record producer Sean Diddy Combs, released on September 15, 2023. Mr. Jones was accepted as an extended member of the service staff and spent time with plaintiff at the service bar and piano room where he played the piano. On or about the early morning of December 28, 2022, the evening shift started as normal. About 5 a.m., plaintiff was messaged on the on duty phone that defendant Christian Combs would be joining the yacht by tender, a small craft that runs back and forth from a larger yacht and used for servicing and providing support and entertainment to a private or charter yacht. Christian Combs wanted to be brought over to the Victorious to record in the yacht's makeshift recording studio with Mr. Jones. So y'all can't say Rodney was telling the story because we have a person that was actually working on the yacht. Although it was not unheard of for Christian Combs to come aboard at such a late hour, he usually stayed at his dwelling offshore overnight, particularly when there was no party on board on any given night. Defendant Combs arrived in the tender and was heavily intoxicated. Plaintiff suspects Christian was intoxicated from a mixture of narcotics and alcohol. Upon entering the recording studio, Christian immediately started ordering that tequila shots be poured from a bottle of alcohol he may have brought onto the yacht. Ironically, Christian Combs was playing Cassie's Me and You was playing in the background. What? Cassie was an artist under Sean Combs and was his former love interest, who also accused Sean of serious mental abuse and sex abuse. In the studio, Christian Combs asked the plaintiff to bring the shots to the recording studio Sunday, and plaintiff obliged as she was the only one serving steward at the time. Plaintiff noticed immediately that he was particularly attentive with her, which she considered very inappropriate. However, plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take shots of tequila he may have brought on board the yacht. Under pressure and wanting to be polite, plaintiff obliged. Prior to this, the plaintiff witnessed defendant Sean Combs create a Black Santa video, which showed him demanding the captain, various head of departments, and crews to take a shot of tequila with him. That is wild. Who's driving the boat? As this was a pattern established by the captain of the yacht and defendant Sean Combs, plaintiff felt comfortable knowing that Mr. Jones was present and didn't think anything more of it. She felt that she would take one shot and he would let her return to the pantry. I would not, if you already experienced what one shot did to those ladies after, I wouldn't trust none of that. Or I would have been polite, took it, and turned my head and threw it in the water. I don't know. I just wouldn't have drunk it. According to the plaintiff, at this point, the mood changed and things became sinister. Christian Combs insisted that plaintiff stayed chatting and that she sit beside him. Plaintiff resisted and remained polite, asking to leave. Christian became aggressive and insisted that plaintiff take a further shot and sit beside him. At this point, Christian Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. Plaintiff insisted that she had to return to the pantry, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Angered, Christian Combs forced plaintiff to take another shot. Plaintiff was quite scared and realized she was in a very dangerous situation. Plaintiff was also feeling the effect of tequila shots and quickly suspected that the tequila was spiked. At this point, the situation escalated, and plaintiff started to be physically assaulted by Sean Combs. He touched plaintiff's legs, breasts, oh my gosh, the place where the sun don't shine and the other place where the sun don't shine. He also tried to kiss her and proceeded to kiss her neck, face, and hands. The timeline at this point is very blurry and vague to plaintiff, as she does not recall exactly what happened to her due to the effects of the spiked tequila shots. Luckily for the plaintiff, due to Sean Combs' insistence on Mr. Jones recording everything, Mr. Jones has an audio recording of Christian Combs, oh my gosh, DURGing and essaying plaintiff. Below is a transcript of Christian Combs forcing plaintiff to consume the suspected laced shots of De Leon tequila. See, that's where Diddy messed up at. That's why Diddy want more to that laptop. Yeah, if he start reading that discovery and he see all of this in there, he gonna try to reach out. He wants to know how many people. He wants to know who. That's why he want access to that laptop. He want to know who filed lawsuits against him. All right, so audio one says defendant. So Christian says, "Yo, it's shot o'clock." Plaintiff, "No, I'm not doing shots, Christian." Christian then says, "Everybody, we got to take a shot." So that's what was heard on audio one. Audio two. So plaintiff said, I'll just put the ledge. Christian says, "No, no, no, take the whole thing." Plaintiff, "No, you will take it as well." Defendant Combs or Christian says, "Take the whole shot." Plaintiff, "I'm only doing it as long as you take it as well." Christian, "I ain't going to lie. I'm not taking nothing. Please, please take the shot." Plaintiff, "Are you rugging me?" Christian, "Take the shot. Hey, yo, play another beat one time because now." And then below is the transcript of Christian essaying of the plaintiff. Oh, man. So as Cassie's playing in the background, here's the plaintiff. "This is not an offer." Christian says, "You said what?" Plaintiff said, "I can't. I'm swapping out. I can't do it. I'm sorry, darling." Christian, "Nah, we need you." Plaintiff, "I'm going to stop. Stop. I have to go. I have to go. Honestly, I'm like already losing sleep. I have to go now." Christian says, "You're the best one in this ship, though." Plaintiff says, "What do you mean?" Christian says, "Who's going to replace you?" Plaintiff says, "Who's going to replace me?" Christian says, "F that. That's going to be trash, though. You feel me?" Plaintiff, "Excuse me. You don't touch my legs like that. I move my legs where I want to." She also says, "If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." Christian, "Listen, you and everybody in the crew, it's great." Plaintiff, "I can't. I have to go down. I have to go down." Christian, "No, Yo, tell me. Listen, this is not making sense. Plaintiff says, what? Christian says, like you're just vibing with me the whole time. Plaintiff says, I can't. I promise you, I wish I could, but I can't unless I say that you guys requested me. Christian, yes. Who can I talk to right now? Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now. Plaintiff then says, well, you could take your hands off my butt for the first thing. That was weird. I'm not gonna lie, that was weird. It says, according to the plaintiff, she said she would have to be requested because she knew anyone of authority would who would approve the request was asleep. Defendant Combs would not have been able to contact them. The plaintiff could then leave. Okay, that makes sense. After being assaulted in the recording studio, plaintiff attempted to resume her duties that night. What? She made her way to the pantry where she met another steward who was assigned to take over the shift. Her colleague recognized that plaintiff was visibly intoxicated, in shock, and trying to finish the shift. Shortly after returning to the pantry, Christian Combs called for plaintiff. He went looking for her and demanded that she find him a place to sleep on the yacht. What? At such a late hour of the night, there were no spare cabins for Christian Combs to stay in. Despite this, he refused to go back to shore. The most acceptable place for him to sleep was in the cinema. Plaintiff directed him to the cinema, which was commonly used as an extra sleeping area. The cinema has one door to exit and enter. Plaintiff entered the room and defendant Combs or Christian blocked her from exiting. Plaintiff retreated to a corner and Christian became physical and extremely aggressive. He cornered plaintiff and started to grope her. Plaintiff pushed him back constantly. Christian then took off all his clothes, Lord. Well, y'all can read that part. And he grabbed her arms and was trying to force plaintiff to do that on him. The plaintiff began fighting Christian, and not long after her partner on a board entered the cinema. This startled Christian, and the plaintiff was finally able to leave. The plaintiff's partner became concerned and went looking for plaintiff after she had not returned to her room after her shift has ended. The morning after, plaintiff complained to the yacht captain, Captain Petar Melkove. Baby, I would have got on one of those little boats and went to the we got to go. Captain Milcove berated the plaintiff. He lacked compassion or concern, failed to investigate, and insisted that the plaintiff was probably voluntarily partying with the guests, and she was not. Captain Milcove added insult to injury by assigning plaintiff to work in front of the house, which required personally serving Christian Combs while they were on the yacht. Plaintiff was not provided an option to be isolated or not have to serve defendant Christian Combs. Plaintiff was 25 years old at the time of the attack. Based on information and belief, Sean Combs' employees, including his DRUG mule Brandon Paul, his chief of staff Christina Coram, and his second in line Frankie Santella, learned of what occurred and informed defendant Sean Combs. Shortly after, Captain Milcove received a generous tip from Sean Combs in order to keep Captain Milcove quiet and keep him from protecting plaintiff or taking action on her behalf. Only a few members of the ship's staff were required to write statements. Plaintiff and her partner were the only two staff members not interviewed and not asked to write a statement. Wow. As a result of Christian Combs' SA, plaintiff has suffered when he violently, or I hope that don't show anything. Okay. When he violently grabbed her and attempted to force her to do that. Okay, so that was a bruise. Now, did you take this picture while you was on the yacht? I think she did. Okay, we see some type of discoloration. Okay. Oh, ew. According to plaintiff, the past year, 2023, has been the most deeply traumatizing time of her life. Christian Combs as aide and has subsequent cover-up orchestrated by Sean Combs and his staff. Plaintiff was isolated and retaliated against on the yacht. This isolation and retaliation finally resulted in plaintiff termination by the captain Pitar Milkov on or around May 10, 2023. In addition to losing her employment, plaintiff also lost her longtime partner with whom she had planned a future. Plaintiff's partner was never the same after seeing plaintiff's bruises on her body because defendant Christian S.A.'d and having to deal with the mental and emotional ramifications, so they separated. That's sad. Plaintiff's mental health deteriorated to the point that she was medicated and required intensive therapy. Additionally, she fell into a deep depression and was unable to fully carry out her maid of honor duties at a wedding of her only sister in June of 2023, which she had been looking forward to doing over 18 months. Plaintiff's anxiety and panic attacks prevented her from securing another permanent position in the yachting industry in 2023. Plaintiff also developed a severe eating disorder as a result of her attack due to the shame and mental warfare she was experiencing that affected her body image and appetite. On several occasions, the effects of Christian Combs' SA led plaintiff to severe suicidal oh my gosh, ideations. In addition to plaintiff's psychological trauma, her physical health began to deteriorate. Plaintiff had several epileptic seizures. The seizures resulted in plaintiffs losing her ability to privately do things she was accustomed to doing alone. Plaintiff now requires supervision to do basic activities like swimming and bathing and is not required to inform people in public places that she is epileptic and requires supervision. Whew. Plaintiff liability in aiding and abetting for the father, Sean Combs. Diddy chartered the yacht and he assumed responsibility for the actions of himself, his guests, and his family. Upon information and belief, Sean Combs fostered and encouraged an environment of debauchery. There were also, there were always a party atmosphere feared with filled, with suspected lady of the night workers, suspected laced alcohol, violence, and sheer disrespect of women and the yacht crew. Upon information and belief, defendant S. Combs did not have any safeguards in place to ensure there was no excessive rug use, no excessive drinking, and no importation of purported Lady of the Night workers. Defendant S. Combs' apparent failure to ensure that there was a safe environment on the yacht was unintentional. On one occasion, Christina Coram, defendant S. Combs' chief of staff, instructed plaintiff to ensure that the entire bar was stocked with De Leon, tequila, and Ciroc vodka. It was important for Sean Combs to be surrounded by these bottles. On occasion, Sean Combs was visibly intoxicated. Plaintiff is unsure if he was high from the rugs, alcohol, or both. Out of nowhere, Christina Karam quickly approached plaintiff and ordered her to remove all the Ciroc and De Leon bottles. She was informed that they redacted it. She was informed we about to got to do a little bit of investigation. She was informed that one and two were boarding the yacht and that and at that point defendant Sean Combs exited the room. Blank entered the room and defendant Sean Combs returned sober holding his newborn daughter. This all occurred within less than an hour. Oh, all right, so who was it? A famous female comedian, and then the wife of a famous comedian and founder of a New York-based charity. Ooh, y'all know what? Is that Ellen? Is that Ellen? Hold up. Ellen DeGeneres. Who's her wife? Y'all, child. So Ellen came on the boat. Y'all, oh my gosh. That's the only thing I could think of. Okay, hold up, baby. I know, it's like, y'all probably like, okay, this is not no live. I know it's not a live, but the good thing is I read all of this. Um, so I'm reading this for the first time too. I'll go through here and I will look to see if there's like any bad stuff that I need to, as far as pictures go. But other than that, let me see. Charity profile, support charities. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into this organization. So her wife is Portia de Rossi. I don't know how to say her name. Um, but we gonna have to look into that, child. So a famous female comedian, and then the wife of a famous comedian and founder of a New York-based charity. So I mean, I could be just a female comedian and then a wife of another famous comedian, but we'll figure it out. If y'all know who it is, please stop it and drop it in the comments below. All right, so that threw me off. Let me see. Okay, so he was intoxicated, and then they say, "Hey, this person and this person is coming on a yacht. You better go get yourself." Wow, y'all realize what just happened? It says at that point, Sean Combs exited the room and entered the room, and defendant Combs returned sober, holding his newborn daughter. So you're telling me all of his kids is on this yacht, including his newborn daughter, and he is doing this? Ain't this like child endangerment? What? Oh my gosh. This incident led plaintiff to believe that defendant Combs knew right from wrong and had the ability and wherewithal to determine that the environment on the yacht was safe. He intentionally created an unsafe environment that gave license to Christian Combs to believe that he was free to SA plaintiff. Sean allowed Christian Combs and his friends to behave carelessly as they observed and mimicked his actions. According to plaintiff, on many occasions she witnessed young girls visiting the boat, stay for less than 30 minutes in a cabin with the guests and leave. This led plaintiff to believe these girls were Lady of the Night workers. According to plaintiff, Sean Combs routinely engaged in and encouraged open illegal rug use while on the yacht. On several occasions, plaintiff witnessed Sean smoking marijuana while receiving services from the yacht crew members. He would not allow them to leave as he smoked, and as a result, several crew members had a contact high. That is just weird. According to plaintiff in another incident, Sean Combs had several women whom plaintiff suspected to be Lady of the Night workers on the yacht. In one incident, a girl was extremely upset and ran to the lower deck, locked herself in the massage room, and was hysterically crying. She said she did not feel safe and want to leave. The crew was alerted of this. At this time, Sarah Chapman, one of Sean Combs' children's mother, was due to have a massage. So plaintiff had to attempt to remove this young woman from the massage, but she was very reluctant and feels unsafe. Eventually she left. So your children's mother was also on board. This whole family needs help. And you didn't do anything? I'm surprised she wasn't named in the lawsuit. According to plaintiff, on another occasion, defendant Christian Combs lost a large bag of marijuana and required the crew to search the yacht for it. According to plaintiff, on another occasion, while Hulu was filming, Sean Combs and his friends, including Young Miami, were playing a game called Carisha Please. Sean Combs was there to expose himself. At that time, Sean Combs stood up, pulled down his pants, and exposed his private area. Plaintiff was standing beside the table and heard the commotion. Defendant Sean Combs' mother was sitting beside him. Plaintiff then returned to the pantry and refused to stand by outside of the pantry for duration of that service period. You say your mama was on board too? So your mama, your girlfriend at the time, Young Miami, your baby mama, and your kids was all on this yacht. Why all of them ain't included in this lawsuit? According to plaintiff, on another occasion during New Year's Eve, defendant Combs had guests who stayed until late afternoon the next day. A fight broke out between Justin Combs' friends. They physically assaulted each other and walked around the boat topless, screaming. Plaintiff and the crew felt very uneasy in this environment. At one point, one of the defendants, Sean Combs' guests, shoved plaintiff's chief steward on the stairs and threw an object across the bar. According to plaintiff, on another occasion, she witnessed an argument between a woman and a man. The man was upset and proceeded to physically assault her. According to plaintiff, Sean Combs' assistant noted rug mule Brendan Paul once came down to the pantry and was laughing uncontrollably. He told plaintiff that he had to sit and watch S. Combs have relations with multiple women. He said Sean Combs wanted him present just in case he needed him to get him something while he was in the middle of the act. Oh my gosh. Plaintiff questioned why Brendan would want to work for defendant Sean Combs if he was required to do such things, and Brandon replied that Sean Combs was a good link to have in the industry. So I guess you just want to be the biggest drug mule ever. Oh my gosh. And this dude, if I'm not mistaken, went to college and played basketball. I don't know what happened to college, but this ain't the route to go, my guy. According to plaintiff, the defendant Combs chartered the yacht. She witnessed and several served several A-list guests on board, including rappers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Cuba Gooding Jr. Boy, let's see who these people are. A Philadelphia rapper, a 30-year-old Atlanta rapper who rose to prominence following the release of his 2017 mixtapes, a 25-year-old British rapper, a Moroccan rapper signed to Bad Boys and Maybach Music Group, and former model and CEO of female urban clothing brand. Ooh. If y'all know who these people are, drop them in the comments. Cause I'm nosy at this point. According to plaintiff, Cuba Gooding Jr. was extremely unpleasant to serve. He sat at the bar and made derogatory comments to plaintiff. He was visibly intoxicated, and she was in the room and witnessed him inappropriately touching producer Rodney Jones, who at the time was working on the Love album. So remember that picture when I read the petition. Dang, did I do that over here on Banger's channel? I can't remember. Um, but it did show a picture of Rodney Jones and Cuba Gooding Jr. sitting there, and Cuba had his hands on his legs. It I would just feel very uncomfortable. As a result of the conduct of Sean and Christian Combs, plaintiff continues to suffer serious harm. So here are the causes of action. Assault against defendant Combs. So, what he did, violently grabbing her, groping her, touching her, making her try to do that, forcing her to drink. All of that is considered assault against him. Battery, and that's the SA. with the groping and grabbing and trying to kiss her and all that other stuff. So that's also against Christian. Let's see. Because all of this is causing her severe emotional distress. SA against Christian Combs. That's obvious. Premises liability against Sean Combs, and this is because he is the one who leased the yacht, so he's responsible for everybody that's on that yacht. He's responsible for any actions, anything that goes down on that yacht. Sean is responsible for that because he is the one who leased it. I'm not going through all this. I'd rather just explain it to you guys. Aiding and abetting. So because it was brought to the captain's attention and then somebody told Sean what happened, the captain ended up getting paid extra. Other people were interviewed, but not the two individuals who knew about the situation and had the situation happen to them. They pretty much covered up what Christian did, and that's why they are the fifth cause of action is aiding and abetting. Infliction of emotional distress, intentional as well as neglect. Infliction of emotional distress, I think is for, is it? Yep, both for Christian. So pretty much everything that she had encountered on the boat that will cause emotional distress. We done read enough of these to know exactly what it is that comes with this. Like Christian grabbed her, he touched her inappropriately, he got her to drink laced alcohol. Um all of those play into your emotion, which caused her to, become, I don't know if she had epilepsy prior to that, but now she's having seizures. Now she's having anxiety and depression. All of that caused emotional distress on her. So for all of that, she is praying for compensatory, special, and general damages according to proof. So she's definitely going to have to make sure that she turn in her medical records that shows that she had to get counseling and shows that she does suffer from some type of anxiety or PTSD or, the seizures, the epilepsy, all of that, which was possibly induced by what she went through on the boat. So she has to ensure that she has these records in place. She's also asking for punitive and exemplary damages, costs for the suit, prejudgment, post judgment, and any other relief that the court may deem is necessary or appropriate. And here you go. So April 4th is when this was filed, and she is demanding a jury trial. So I'm very curious as to what this man is going to say about this. And he's probably freaking out because it did take them a while for them to get served. They slapped on a preservation notice. Now this was done in April, so that means they cannot get rid of anything. But I know at this time we're in December, they have collected everything, but the government has this under control, so I don't think they could, if they tried to get rid of evidence, I'm pretty sure that evidence has been retrieved or restored. So they don't have to worry about anything getting damaged because they've already obtained this when they seized all of the electronics out of Diddy's house. Who, like father, like son, is very sad what is happening to these individuals who are filing these suits. I am just floored that the whole family was on board on this yacht. They're playing a game, Carisha, please, and you feel comfortable exposing yourself in front of your mother. You feel comfortable being intoxicated and use drugs while your kids, your and that baby, did she just turn one? No, they said a newborn. He was holding his newborn. So you feel comfortable even doing that while your newborn is on board? That's why these kids are messed up. I do declare that these kids are messed up. The newborn is probably going to be traumatized. I say newborn. She's what, one right now? One or two? And then you have your sons. Quincy, what is Quincy doing? Quincy needs to go build a relationship with his father because obviously this particular, I don't know much about Albie Sure. I love his music. I know that. But I don't know much as far as how he is as a father. I know that Diddy adopted, Quincy, but you need to get back on the other side, the good side, because right now the Combs family, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Like the complaint stated, the apple does not far too far from the tree. I think that all of the children in this matter have been compromised. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, y'all be blessed and I'm out. Bye.